You're watching Night Beat with Barry Nolan.
NBC's The Apprentice is just one in a countless stream of reality TV shows popularized by business tycoon Donald Trump. The program just wrapped its 5th season as yet another contestant heard the now famous words, "You're hired," from the Donald. But back on the premiere episode of season 1, there was one face that you did not see as part of the original 16 Trump wannabes. Nicholas Christakis of Billerica, Massachusetts, came so close to making it on the show, but got the thumbs down during the final selections. Here's a clip of Mr. Christakis' audition tape.
It's simple. I know payroll, I know how to W-2, 1099, whatever it is. So basically, I know how to start businesses and make businesses. You give me the opportunity, and I could definitely make it work. That's what I do. I take 1 with 2 and I make 3.
Mr. Christakis has now filed a $250 million civil lawsuit against the Donald and the show's producer, Mark Burnett. He's the same guy that brings us Survivor. Mr. Christakis claims that he was defamed, slandered, and libeled in front of a California casting crew, and he joins me now in studio. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So, what's the process by which you first, put your hat in the ring and say, I want to be in The Apprentice thing?
That is a great question. When I first heard about The Apprentice, which I have credible proof, what happened was online and over the radio newspapers, they asked for anyone who was an entrepreneur that wants to be the Trump's apprentice, apply online. So I applied online under the notion of entrepreneurship, and I sent them a tape, which was the tape you just played. And they liked it. Out of 250,000 to 1 million applications, they picked mine.
That's good news.
It was great news. I'm like, sign me up. And what happened was, it was still it was more difficult than that because they set up distribution points through all the United States, California, New York, Boston.
Regional casting.
Of course. And what they picked me to was the last 50 contestants. They put us into the Lenox Hotel, which you had to go another interview under the same notion, what I told you, under the entrepreneurship. And then from there, they had another casting, which would have been in California, which I made it to for the final 50.
So they flew you out, according to your lawsuit, I was reading the papers today, they flew you out to Santa Monica, put you up in a nice hotel there, and they pay for your, it's like a little vacation, only it's stressful.
It's stressful. Keep in mind, I have other businesses. I really can't be gone for that long,
so
but yes.
You're out there, and then you come in for this sort of audition thing.
Correct.
And then something happens that the issue's all about.
Correct. I went through 2 interviews. Each day, Mike Burnett purported we'll stay up there for 1 week, and Donald Trump 1 week, and each day they'll send people home who can't make the final cut. So each day from the Monday we were there, they start sending people home. I made it until Friday. I had 2 interviews with the gentleman. I had them signed, sealed, and delivered.
Yeah.
Tori and Omarosa and Sam, like they were on the other side of me. It was just, what happened was, he just switched the whole program on me.
But that's what, isn't that what it, listen, I used to work in the theater.
Correct.
And I'd show up, I wanted to always be King Henry. And I'd go to the King Henry auditions, and there were 8,000 other people that wanted to be King Henry, and only one of us got it, and the rest of us went home. That's how it works, isn't it?
You do have a valid point, but it's not how it works. Because if they want an entrepreneur and they quote business, well, there's laws to a business opportunity.
Yeah. But all these people wanted that. There was only one job. If it was like CEO of a company, there's only one job.
Well, I agree. I'm not saying The Apprentice itself, but down to the final 16 contestants to be into the mix, I was not guaranteed, nor did I anticipate an entitlement. But I did anticipate at least an equitable business opportunity. So what happened was, at least on entrepreneurship merit, I should have got into the 16 contestants.
Well, what happened? All right. I don't want to fuss with you because you're a large guy and you look like you could crush me like a paper cup. There's a whole bunch of people that want this limited number of things, and they're all auditioning, and everybody gets that, right? There's more people that want the jobs, the slots. More people that want the slots than there are slots, right?
Correct.
A lot of people have to go home. That's the deal.
Correct. That would be the deal. That would be the deal.
Okay.
But the issue at hand was, given the situation that they purported they wanted, it's a different slot, different deal. I wouldn't have applied. That was my whole issue.
You mean
He used past history to dictate those slots that are supposed to be fulfilled, not entrepreneurial merit.
But don't you think the other people that got down to that final 54, that final 20, had entrepreneurial merit? Were there like 16 people that had entrepreneurial merit and the rest of the people were Looney Tunes and then there was you? Or what are you saying?
Yeah, you have a valid point. Ideally, it's through the evidence that I have and the evidence that I will gather from federal rules of regulations in the federal court. No, I will prove that the majority of them weren't. It was strictly, they changed the show, they weren't entrepreneurs, and that he used past history to change the whole frequency of the show.
I don't understand what you're talking about there. Explain that.
In other words, no, I agree with you that half the people in the final 16 were not entrepreneurs, nor did they have the entrepreneurial merit that you need as they purported they wanted.
So one of the things you say is that they said something during that casting thing, that interview, that you thought was slanderous or libelous. What is that casting moment like? Are they asking you questions? Are they asking you about your history? Do they say, how would you handle this? What do they do to you?
Of course, that's exactly what happened. They knew my history. They still wanted to fly me in. And then Mark Burnett turns around at me and throws it against me. He pretty much called me everything you could probably think of, a loser, unsuccessful. He just didn't understand entrepreneurship.
Mark Burnett or one of his representatives?
No, they were all in one room. Mark Burnett, there was like 40 people in one room. And that's where he disseminated the information.
That's got to be intimidating.
It was intimidating. But I'm a strong man. I'm emotional strong. I pushed forward, only to have it all thrown back into my face, my past history.
One of the things that it's been in the newspapers that your family was involved in a bankruptcy.
No, not my family.
You were involved in a bankruptcy, and your family ran a restaurant up in Billerica.
Very successful restaurant.
Very successful.
30 years operation.
But at some point you had a sort of set to with the Board of Health, and I was reading.
Yeah,
your mom sounds like a pepper.
No, my mom actually is a great lady. She never had an issue with anything. Well, what a great lady. It's just, we're currently, I can't really talk, but we're under civil actions. And if you check the paperwork in the courts, you'll see there was corruption, there was bribery involved from health. Yeah, it's crazy.
So in a way, is Mark Burnett and those guys, what they're supposed to do is they're supposed to get people like that crazy Amorosa woman who, you want to push them so you see him give some attitude. Isn't that what they were doing to you? They want to get some attitude back from you. They want characters on their TV show.
If they wanted characters, I wouldn't have applied. That's what my whole thing's about. I would not apply if they wanted characters.
I got to tell you, you are a character.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you. It just so happened I could do the both worlds. But the point is, I know business. Sometimes people are going to call you bluff, and I can prove my case.
So you get to depose the Donald. What are some of the questions you want to ask him?
Oh, it's funny. I could definitely prove that he did switch the that he misrepresented what he was looking for on the Apprentice show with Mark Burnett, and that he had really nothing to do with the show. That Mark Burnett did it all.
If you go forward with this, and you get to depose Donald Trump, I'll give you $10 if you ask him why he wears his hair like that.
You got it.
All right. Ask him about the eyebrows too.
I will.
So what happens next? When do you expect to hear something?
It's within 20 days. Within 20 days, they will file an answer, or they'll look to dismiss. But by then, my attorney will be on notice, and he will vacate that dismissal, and we start depositions.
Thanks so much. Good luck. As they say in show business, break a leg, but just not mine.
Yep.
All right. Thanks so much. All right, now we take you for a turn of your taste buds. Coming up next, the Night Beat Cafe is open, and we're doing some summertime cooking. We'll bring you some vintage fares that you don't want to miss. That's next here on the Comcast Network. See you in 8.